Thanks, guys. I love me too. It's a pretty good crowd tonight. I'm used to big crowds. I'm from a family of 8 kids. My parents use the rhythm method of birth control, which just shows you that white people shouldn't do anything that involves rhythm. Then my dad tells me I should practice abstinence. I'm like, Dad, you need more practice at that. You know what you're talking about? He's like, no, son, I just don't want you to repeat all 8 of my mistakes. My dad's a funny guy about things like that. When we were kids, we went to the zoo and we saw 2 bears kind of getting it on. And I'm 10. I'm like, Dad, what are they doing? He's like, oh, that's a full bear pumping up a flat one. I believed him until I was 16. I tried to help a guy pump up a flat tire. Got arrested. I don't have any kids of my own. I'm too much of a procrastinator. I like that. That one's getting out. Growing up in a big family is a lot of fun. My brother and I, we used to play a lot of pranks on each other. I'd replace his toothpaste with a little bit of Preparation H. He'd replace mine with crazy glue. So I'd replace his insulin with heroin. So I'm like, beat that dude. When he woke up from that coma, he was pissed. But no, he got me back the other day. He took my cell phone and he replaced the ringtone with the sound of a really loud fart. And then he calls me while I'm in line at Starbucks. And I'm like, whoa, that sounded close. Was that me? I think it was. I felt my pants vibrate. Oh, God. Wow, that was crickets. I swear to God, that was the delivery, not the joke. But no, being in a big family, obviously, Mormon. And Mormons, they're clean living people. They don't drink or smoke or fornicate. Those are kind of my hobbies. So, not much of a Mormon. But my name is Ammon, and that's actually a Mormon name. So people, they recognize it immediately. They'll be like, Ammon, you're Mormon, aren't you? And I'll be like, yeah, let's just finish the lap dance in silence. But girls never want to date me when they find out I'm Mormon. They think that all I know is missionary. But I'm not too bad with the ladies. I do pretty well picking up girls at bars, lesbian bars, when I'm in drag. Take what you can get. But no, actually, the way that I try to pick up girls is I usually just kind of stand in the back of the bar and show off the bulge in my pants. I'm like, yeah, ladies, you like that, don't you? That's an iPhone. Yeah, I just waste money. You just know that from this. And I'm on AT&T, so you can give me your number. I can't call you. Shit doesn't work. But no, I was married for a little while. I got out of that. It's kind of like getting out of prison, except you have more sex in prison. But I have a girlfriend now. She's ever the optimist. Our first night together, she gave me one of those Magnum condoms. And I'm like, all right. So I made her a balloon animal. It's like, there's no way no. But funny story how we met. I had actually heard that turkey makes you tired, so I slipped a few slices into her drink at a bar. Kind of worked. When I gave her the Heimlich, I totally got to second base. So. Kind of nice. Now I am kind of a dirtbag. It's it's kind of like roofies, but I don't really like roofies because those are a weird drug. It's like the only drug that you take, but everybody else gets to enjoy. I really understood that about roofies, but I don't really do any drugs myself anymore. I try to stay clean. I do take an anti-anxiety medication called vodka. I prescribed it to myself because I have a fear of flying. I realized that it's cheaper for me to upgrade to first class for $400 than to spend $500 on little tiny Smirnoff bottles. So I cure my nervousness when I'm flying. But the cool thing about planes these days, if you guys have flown lately, they actually have video games on planes. It's really cool. They have like the screen in the back of the seat. The game I played was a flight simulator, but it was a simulator of my own flight, so it was just a picture of the back of the seat. For 6.5 hours. And I was like, at least there's no turbulence. I mean. But so I live in New York, you know, I like living in New York. One cool thing about New If street performers. If you're from out of town, if you run across any street performers, they're awesome. Saw this one guy near Washington Square Park. He's yelling all these really funny things, and he gets into a fight with a garbage can, and then he shit his pants. And I was like, that's not a street performer. That's a crazy homeless guy. And it was especially embarrassing for me. I'd been following him around, laughing and clapping for a half hour. Give me back the $10 I put in your G-string, dude. I want, come on. Yeah, I have a car in the city too. You know, it's I wanted one of those really big SUVs, but my ex was all green and earthy, so I drive a hummus. Gets good gas mileage, but you know, the price of gas still really affects me because I'm also an arsonist, so it makes my hobby more expensive. But I had a guy approach me on the street a week or two back, and he was like, "Excuse me, sir, are you a registered Democrat?" I said, "No, I'm a registered sex offender." He's like, "Oh, sorry, we don't need Republicans for this poll." But he actually invited me to a black tie affair. So I brought Tiger Woods, because he's both, right? That's a Cialis joke. You'll get it sometime in the next 36 hours. Don't worry about it. And I'm not very political, you know, but I do love Barack Obama. He's like the one man, he's one of the few people in this world that can turn me temporarily gay. You know, he finishes up a speech and I'm just like, he's done, I can be heterosexual again. The other person that does that to me is Hillary Clinton. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm Ammon Brown. That's my time. Appreciate it.